Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Korlick with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and as you can see, I have got an Xbox 360e, and I will be doing an unboxing of this for you. If you don't care about anything I've got to say about this thing, you just want to see what's in the box, I've provided time code. Just go ahead and skip ahead to that if that's all you want to see. So, there you go. If you stick around, as per usual, I'm going to talk about this thing and just give thoughts on it, and then eventually open it. So, again, skip the time code if you don't want to see any of that. So, okay, here's the deal with this thing. I didn't buy this. This is for me, though. My birthday was a couple days ago, and a couple of my friends got together and they pitched in to get me this thing. It was on sale on Black Friday at Amazon for $189.99 as opposed to what it currently is at $249.99. Different places had different sales on them depending on what you wanted. This was my model of choice because it doesn't have the fucking Kinect, and it has a 250 gigabyte hard drive, and it came with at least one game. It comes with a physical copy of Halo 4 and a digital copy of Tomb Raider. Now, I don't care about the digital copy of Tomb Raider. Nothing against the game, I just don't support digital. But it's cool to at least get an extra game with it. But yeah, so the Xbox 360e, for those who don't know, this is the third revision of the Xbox 360. That's uncommon. I was thinking about this a little bit earlier today. I thought, you know, it's interesting. Every console in the 7th generation, the Wii, the PS3, the 360, has three mainstream versions. You know, they all have a launch version, obviously, that got tweaked, and then they came out with like a second model. Now, the Wii is kind of interesting because its second model is not super different. It just doesn't have GameCube controller ports or memory card space, and obviously doesn't support the GameCube, but basically looks the same. And then, of course, its third model was the Wii Mini. Whereas the PS3 and the 360 have three radically different looking designs. And I had to think about that. I was like, when was the last time we had a console that lived long enough to have three different versions? And correct me if I'm wrong, but the last one I remember was the Sega Genesis, going all the way to, you know, Genesis Model 3, which is debatable because there's other models of the Genesis and doesn't necessarily the Genesis recount, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I'm just saying it's interesting that the 7th generation was so long that all three of them managed to get three different models when that's really not common at all. And obviously there's a bunch of unique reasons for that. You know, the 7th generation had to go through an economic crisis, so we should have had new consoles in like 2010 if the economy had stayed healthy, but it didn't, so they kind of had to make them last, which makes sense. It's good for all of us. And yeah, you know, I think the other unique thing about it was just the fact that, at least with the PS3 and the 360, the launch models were heavily unreliable. You know, the big PS3, I have one, the 60 gigabyte one that's fully backwards compatible with the PS2, like, you know, it's hardware perfect and everything. Those things cost like $900 to manufacture, and they had to sell them at $600, so they were losing like almost $300 on every unit. It was ridiculous that Sony thought that that was going to work. So, you know, they started stripping it down until they got it down to the slim model, as we all kind of know. And then they did that super slim, which I just did an unboxing of as well. And then, of course, the 360 launch model was the horrible Red Ring of Death model. I do question why they put this one out, though. I mean, the 360 Slim, which I have one of, and that's the one I use predominantly, is very reliable. Like, it works really well. It's slim. It's efficient. I mean, I don't really see any real need for this. And then it occurred to me, pretty much probably the only reason they did it was just because it looks a lot like the Xbox One, and they were just trying to kind of migrate people that way, I guess, make them think like, hey, you know, you couldn't get an Xbox One, but you can get this thing that looks like an Xbox One. I don't know, that's like the best logic I have behind it, so I don't know, whatever. But, you know, I really like the Xbox 360, and obviously I'm a collector, so I kind of like to get my hands on kind of everything I can, so it's really cool of my friends to pick this up for me. Especially at the reduced rate that they got it for. So I guess that's kind of enough of that. Why don't we go ahead and open it up and just kind of talk about it as we go. Now, again, if you're in the market for one of these, there's different versions depending on your needs. There's the Kinect version, there's the 4 gigabyte version, which I don't know why you would do that. Yeah, it's cheaper, but you can't, what are you going to do with it? You know, you can't download anything, you can't really save any of your games to it. I don't understand the point of that, but whatever. There's the back of the box in case anybody's wondering. Actually, that is one other thing. This thing has multiple versions of the box as well. Like this one has a sticker right here that has Halo 4 and Tomb Raider advertised on it. But there's other ones that where like they're just drawn right on the side, like that's the normal bundle. Like I don't. Microsoft is apparently not as good at as Sony is about Black Friday bundles. Sony, I got to give them credit for this. Every year they kind of have a dedicated Black Friday bundle, and Microsoft doesn't really seem to do that. They kind of seem to leave it up to the retailer to kind of do what they want. You know, like Best Buy gave away 360 Slims, not this one, the second model, with 4 games. Walmart sold these with a 4 gigabyte hard drive for $100, no games. Amazon sold the bundle I wanted, which was 250 gigabyte hard drive and Halo 4 for $189. And like every place had a slightly different bundle. Does that make sense? Some places were doing the Connect bundle, and they just didn't seem to have all their ducks in a row there. And that's too bad because they're missing an opportunity to kind of really have everybody dedicated at the same thing. But at least that's my opinion on the matter. So enough of that crap. Let's really open it now. So here we have the sticker, which I'm just going to go ahead and cut. And there we go. Not quite cut all the way. Okay. Now it is, I think. Why am I having such trouble with this? Okay. Try again. 3rd time's the charm. Okay, now it really is. Okay, there we go. So rip that like there. And then come here and open this up like that. Inside we're greeted with the Xbox, the new Xbox 360 logo, which is meant to look a lot more like the Xbox One logo. Pop that open, you see like just advertisements for stuff. And inside, first thing we have is an advertisement for 1 month of Hulu Plus and Xbox Live Gold. I'm already an Xbox Live Gold member, don't need that. Full game download of Tomb Raider. I'll probably give this to one of my friends for this because that was really nice of them. A thing about Halo 4. Doesn't seem to say hello to your new friends. No, I have friends that got me this. Halo 4, which unfortunately has this ugly yellow thing that says not packaged for individual sale. That's not a sticker. That's actually written right on it. That's lame, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Quick setup guide. Oh no, this is the Xbox Live Gold month thing, and this must just be a Hulu month thing. Well, either way, that's cool of them. So, open up these compartments here, and we have Xbox Live headset. And inside we have the controller. I want to try and confirm something about the controller for myself, but I think I'm going to be disappointed. Let's see. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Okay, so you see the controller there. That's the 360 controller we've all kind of been used to for a while. I like the 360 controller a lot. I really, really do. But I absolutely hate its D-pad. It is terrible. And I don't understand why they keep doing this. Like, they made a version like 2 years ago that has like a better D-pad that, can rotate and stuff. And I have one. It came with my 360, or Star Wars Xbox 360. But I don't want to use that because that's like a collector's edition controller thing. But I just don't get it. Why didn't they, once they made that change, why didn't they just start packaging all the consoles with it so I didn't have to have this crappy D-pad? Lame. It's so fucking lame. Comes with a couple of AA batteries, which is cool. I have plug-in charge kits, so yay, free batteries. Nothing else in there. This compartment we have the power supply, which is unfortunately unique to the Xbox 360. This version, actually, specifically. Yeah, so, alright. This power cable, essentially, will not work on anything other than this model of the 360. And I hate when they do that. I hate when they make custom power cables for things, because if it ever breaks, or if it gets lost, which is most likely what will happen, you're kind of screwed down the line, because you'll have a really hard time finding a replacement. I really like the kinds of cables that are much more universal, but hey, it's what they did. We have composite cables. We'll see. I doubt they threw in HDMI cables, but if they did, I will like them more. This is the other end of the power cable. You've seen a power cable. Let's see if there's anything else in there. There is more paperwork. I don't really care about that. Okay, there's foam stuff, and underneath we obviously have the console. There. out, and there's nothing else in here except for foam stuff. So what that means is that they did not include an HDMI cable. And why do Sony and Microsoft do that? I know the systems are out the door soon, I get that. And I know they're capable of standard definition, but you claim all over the box it's supposed to be the ultimate HD type of thing, and you don't include HDMI cables. I just don't understand that, you know? Like, yes, if you have a composite TV still, I get that. You want the composite cables. I'm not saying they shouldn't give them to you. But what I am saying is, to everyone who has an HD TV, why are you making us go out and buy HD TV or HDMI cables as well? Like, I don't want to use composite cables. I'm sorry, I just don't. Now, in this specific case, it's not that big of a deal because obviously I have other 360, so I have other HDMI stuff. I just feel bad for people out there who like have the TV, they bought the console, and they're stuck with fucking composite cables because they don't want to put down money for more HDMI cables. Whatever. So. Yeah, that's that. Actually, interestingly, I haven't tested this myself, but I'm told that this console is not capable of component. It does composite, which is you know, the yellow, red, and white, and it does HDMI, which you obviously have to provide for yourself, but it doesn't do component. Now, I'm not 100% on that because obviously I haven't tested it myself, but that is what I read, and I find that very odd. But hey, it is what it is. So console there, all wrapped up. Pop off the tape here. Okay, and there we have it. The Xbox 360 One. No. Yeah, this is my first time seeing one in person because not too many people are buying these. It has two frontal USB ports, a syncing button, power button right there, eject button. It looks very nice. On the back, you've got your really unique and weird-looking power supply right there. And you have one HDMI port. Looks like an AV out port. I guess that would make sense. That's for this composite cable, which is unique to this console. So I guess that would make sense that it wouldn't be able to support component. Why you would make it so standardized just for your console, I don't know. A connect port, broadband port, and two USB ports on the back. So yeah, that's kind of the look of the console. I haven't obviously used it, so I can't compare its performance to other versions of the 360. I would assume it's pretty much the same as the 360 Slim and probably more efficient than the original Fat 360. So that's cool. Same complaint I have with both the PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. I like the glossy look that it has on it, which you can see there, but it's already picking up dust and fingerprints in the moments that I've had it. Now obviously, you know, I touched it, so that makes sense, but still, like dust too, these things are just really good at absorbing dust and fingerprints, and I really wish I could make someone in those departments be like, yeah, we like the look of it, we really do, but if you want people to use it, it's going to get dusty and have fingerprints. Alright, here we have the 360E. And if we pan over here, we can see we have the Xbox One. I would try to get them both in frame, but I can't do it. They're just too big, especially the Xbox One. So, the best I can do for you here is kind of lay one on top of the other, and you can get a sense of that. And look at that. Look how much bigger this is. The Xbox One is just a big console. That's just how it is. Okay, so some people inevitably will wonder, you know, like this thing came with a 250 gigabyte hard drive, and my old one has a 250 gigabyte hard drive. You know, do I have to re-download everything, etc.? I did a video on this quite a while ago. Actually, if you'll notice here, I have this program called Explorer 360 running, and what it's doing is it's mirroring, it's basically backing up my entire 250 gigabyte hard drive with data on it. And it's going to store it on my computer, and you gotta love my Shenmue themed background there. So after it mirrors the whole image, what I'm basically going to do is take it and use the transfer kit thing to basically transfer all of the data off of this one onto the new one, and then bring the old one back on here and put the 250 gigabytes of data back onto it, so you mirror the drive, so both drives end up with the same amount of data. I highly recommend doing that if you ever decide to get another 360. But again, I did a whole video on that. I just thought I would let people know. Alright, so I've got the 360 all set up here. So what can I tell you? You know, it runs fine.
I mean, it's the Xbox 360. We all know that console. It's my favorite console of the 7th generation. So really at that point, all you can criticize are things that are different, or all you can judge are things that are different, I should say. And there's only really one criticism I have of this thing in the short time I've had it, and that's just the power button next to the eject button here. It takes a little bit more force than I would like, as opposed to the 360 Slim, which just had that like sensor pad thing, and it was up at the top, which in my setup makes sense because I just wave my hand across and the thing comes out. Putting it next to the power button and underneath the drive is a little inconvenient, if you want to get at it, especially if you're kind of coming from an upward position. At least that's just my take on it. That's not that big of a deal, especially because I plan to continue to use my 360 Slim just because I kind of like that aspect of it better. So that's enough to sway me. But the E, there's nothing wrong with it other than the fact that it doesn't support component if that's what you want, and just that little cosmetic kind of problem. So if you're looking for a cheap 360 and this is your best option, I say hey, go for it. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it, and I want to thank you guys for watching, so I will see you all later.